Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Now, before we get into today's video, I just want to briefly discuss the coronavirus. I hope you guys are all doing well, and I hope everybody is safe. Stay home, stay safe. Best thing you could do right now. That being said, because I'm staying home, I am being safe, it's limiting to what I can do on YouTube. I have a lot of stuff planned for doing video content, but I'm stuck within the studio and there's not a lot I can do down here that would be of interest. So I'm kind of putting all that work off till this issue gets resolved. I do have a lot of videos coming up, and there will be a new video every Monday as per normal, but we're going to do a little more on photography itself versus videography, but we will be getting into more video work as time goes on within this channel. So thank you for bearing with me with this, and I hope you're all doing well. This is a devastating crisis going across the world, and I hope everyone's doing okay. All right, now today's video we're talking about cheap photography props and where you can find them. You already spend enough money on your photographic equipment. Why can't we save a few bucks on some props and some DIY stuff? Now, we're not going to get into any DIY in this one, but I'm going to let you know where I get my props, and you can have a look at some of the key pieces of props that I think are quite essential to have. So without further ado, let's get into this video and check out some of these props. Alright, one of my favorite places to go is the thrift shops. Here in Canada we have Value Village, Goodwill, and a few of the others. Value Village tends to be my main haunt that I go to. There is in where I used to live, there used to be one called Claeys, which was really good as well. But great places to go to get some cheap props. Here's one that I absolutely love. Haven't used it yet. It is a very cool mirror, and it's all made of wicker. I have no idea how I'm going to use it, why I'm going to use it, what I'm going to do with it. I don't know, but it was like a couple of bucks. I mean, you can't go wrong. It's very cool. You could use it in the background, or it could be part of the main look of the photo. But a couple of bucks, very cool. It's almost like an antique mirror. Now, with mirrors, we also have your handhelds like this. Again, couple of bucks, very cool mirror, and you can get some great effects with it, like in this photo. I mean, this is very cool what you can do with a little handheld mirror for a couple of bucks. And this stuff's pretty easy to store. That is the other nice thing, is having props that store well. In other words, not taking up a ton of room on you. But yeah, mirrors, all kinds out there, and you can do some really cool things with it. I have a big assortment of mirrors for just occasions, and some I have no clue, like that one I just showed you, what I'm going to do with it. We'll just have to wait and see. Another thing from the thrift stores, and you can go to craft stores. I know in the States they have the Hobby Lobby. In Canada we have Michael's. Flowers. You can get all kinds of flowers. Now, those stores have some realistic looking flowers. This looks fantastic. This one I picked up at the Hobby Lobby. They were all separate, and all I did was take a twist tie to crimp around here and create a little bouquet. And look at this image. Very cool of how this little bundle of flowers works in the photo. Again, this was a little pricier. Hobby Lobby, Michael's are more expensive, but I know with Michael's here in Canada, you can get coupons for 50% off, sometimes 60% off on an item. That's not a bad savings to get a bit better quality item. Now in the thrift shops, you can find this stuff, but the better quality stuff is a little harder to find, but you can find it. You can also get like individual little flowers like this and this, or they come in the bunch like this, and you can simply pull it apart, like these red ones that I used in this photo, which gives a very cool little effect to make a more of a fantasy type image, more dreamy. And that's basically these little flowers here. This one here looks like it's just starting to open. They're really, really cool. You can do a lot with flowers, and I got tons of flowers. Flowers with vines and twigs and branches, all kinds of stuff, because you never know when you're going to need it. You can simply add a hair clip to this, boom, away you go. And you can add it to a hat, which I'll show you later. With the flowers, there's wreaths. Very cool what you can do with a wreath. This one here is very old and it continually falls apart on me now, but You can get wreaths in all different shapes, sizes, and seasonals. Christmas ones, Easter ones, probably even a Halloween one. This is more of a spring type one. It definitely needs a little bit of work because it's starting to fall apart on me, but this image is pretty cool with it. Now, wreaths are very handy, as you can see by this other image, that sometimes these wreaths are just designed to go around a candle. Like this one here, I broke it in half, as you can see by the plastic on the back side, but it works very cool as a head adornment. Right, just like the photo I showed, very cool. Love the colors in this, that kind of muted blues and that, the more the muted tones in this. You can get all kinds of wreaths. This one I think was just a springtime one that literally went around the candle. I don't use it for that, as you can tell, but you can get creative with this. If you don't want it for that, you can pick this all apart and create your own pieces from all this. There's all kinds of flowers and stuff in here that you can use to create your own headpiece, or you can add into scenes like I did with the model laying there with the flowers around. So flowers, you can't go wrong. There's tons of them. And like I say, there's all kinds of green vining and everything else that you can pick up. Now, another place that you can pick stuff up is in yard sales. Now, yard sales, they seem to be a thing of the past. They're really dwindling down, but you can pick up some cool little things from there. So let me just set that flower thing apart. Now, one of the things that I did get, and I was so happy, I actually got a few of them now, from this one I got from a yard sale for $5. Hang on. Look at that. What a cool little picnic basket that is. Now, this is more of a hat style if you want. It's kind of like a half one, but this was $5. I had to do a little work on the handle, a little hot glue, but look at that. Even came with the accessories. That was very cool. So I can use those plastic accessories in another shoot for something. But this is very cool. And as I say, I have a couple of different styles. I mean, look at these images. The propping with it goes so well. This one I think was $5. The other one, I think it was from a yard sale as well. I've had this stuff for quite a while. I think it was about $15. And it was loaded with the accessories as well. So, and that one didn't need any work to it. So very cool. These picnic campers are great. I've done quite a few different shoots with these, and I just love that dreamy, romantic effect that you can kind of get in using that kind of stuff with it. Now, while we're talking wicker, there's all kinds of baskets and stuff that you can get. I think this one was from one of the thrift shops, and it was 25 cents or 50 cents. Sometimes they're up to $1. There's tons of this stuff, and they typically always have it in. It's just a matter of finding the style of the one you like. I mean, look at the image here. You put some flowers in there, and, you know, away you go. Right? So, very cool. You can create some great images with some cheap props. So let me just set that one aside. Now, you can get other accessories from Value Village in the fashion department. We can look at hats. Now, we've got this style here, and again, when I was talking about with the flowers, I just simply tucked this up underneath, got a couple of flowers onto it. Looks very cool for a lady's hat. This one already had the banding around it, which was quite nice. These come in all different colors and sizes and textures to it. Some are like a plastic, some are an actual woven like a straw. There's quite a few available to you, and you can see in some of these images, you can get some great effects and cheap props. Again, a couple of dollars. You can't go wrong with this stuff. Now, in the men's department, we have the top hat, which is kind of a little big for me, but there you go. Now, I've got the top hat, I've got a man's bowler hat. You can get like driving caps, you know, the short little peaked ones, baseball caps. Cheap to get. Again, they tend to be only a couple of bucks. Now, I'm going to give you the best piece of advice to get the most amount of items for the cheapest amount of money. And that is, I know here in Canada, Value Village at Halloween time. I am like a kid in a candy store. They take expensive outfits, those fancy formal dresses, and a lot of this other propping, and they move it to their Halloween department, and they slash the prices. There was a dress I was looking at in there, and I think it was about $80 for it, which was a little too much that I didn't want to spend on the session, so I waited, and they ended up moving it into Halloween, and I think I paid 20 bucks for it. You can't beat that. So Halloween time, I am like a kid in the candy store. So let me show you what else I got clothing-wise from this. Again, both these were from Value Village. This one I absolutely love. Look at this nightgown. It's got great embroidery work across the front. This one's a spaghetti strap. There's 2 or 3 layers to this, and it's almost like a very fine tulle netting that you get in like the 70s style 90s. Now, this again, $5, $10 maybe. If you go to a store and buy one of these brand new, if you can find this type styling and this type material, they're expensive. But your thrift shops, sometimes even a yard sale, you can get it. These are great. Now, it also came with the matching house coat. Now, you're thinking, why do you want the house coat with it? Well, the house coat can have a very cool look, especially if you're doing a bit more of a vintage shoot, because you can have the nightie on and the house coat on. Now, look at this picture with this on, and you can't tell that it's a nightie because they look like dresses when you dress them up. Now, you can take this nightie, and where you've got the arms and everything, and you just simply roll all this down, and you go around the model's waist with it. You can then take all this extra fabric you've got and increase the volume of this, and you're ending up with a lot of material, which creates a very full looking dress, which is great. Now, I tend to buy the clothing a bit bigger in sizes because it'll fit more models. Excuse me, I got a hair or something on my nose. I don't know what it is with me in videos and getting fur and hair and stuff on my nose, but anyways, you can get a lot of full material this way with it, which is great. Now, because I bought sizes that are bigger, you can use clips and clamps to shape the dress to your model. You're not going to see them in the back most times anyways. That's a way to hide it. Another cool way, and another great prop, is a scarf, and I have a lot of these. This pink one has been a godsend for me. I've used this in more shoots than you can shake a stick at, and fantastic. Tie this around the waist over where the house coat part is, and it hides all that, and you can suck it in to hide some of that excess material. You can also take a lady's hat, as you see in photos, that you can just simply take around the front, got a tail on the back, blows in the breeze, soft, romantic, looks very cool. Can't beat that. Now with the house coats, I did luck out that day because I got 2 of them. Here's the other one. This one, here's the house coat for it, and it's got the blue embroidery, which I really like. And then the nightie is a different style. It's not a spaghetti strap, but there again, sleeveless, but look how cool that is. And again, lots and lots of tooling material. You can even kind of layer some of this 2 nighties together, then with a house coat, you can make a very full one. So here's a couple of different styles, and the images are just phenomenal. I just love the way they come out. You get that nice, soft, romantic, dreamy look to the images. These are nighties, but when you kind of dress them up a bit, these are now dresses, which is very, very cool. Let me just move them out of the way. Now, when you want to dress up your nightie to look more like a dress, you can add the hat, you can add the scarf around the waist. You can also add jewelry to help accent it out. Now, I've looked all over. Sometimes in the Value Village and the thrift shops you can get jewelry, but most times I find that a little overpriced. Halloween time you do get a lot come out. It's cheap, it's pretty crappy, but it'll work. Now, I was buying mine from Amazon because there was a few specific pieces I was looking for, but funny enough, you can get things fairly cheap. Now, I was doing an elf shoot, and I picked this one up, and I think it was $5. Really, really cheap, and it worked great. Now, the thing with necklaces is, you got to use your imagination. Yes, it's a necklace, but if I detach all this, and if you remember seeing the foam armor stuff that I'd made, this could be mounted onto armor pieces. This can also be on a headpiece. just got to use your imagination and multi-use items wherever you can, and you can cut costs. So this thing here for say $2, $5, $10, if I use it multiple times other than just a necklace, then my cost per shoot of this item really decreases. And this also did come with the matching earrings. Most of them, funny enough, come with the earrings too, which is kind of cool. I'll show you a few others. Again, this one here, it was a couple of dollars and phenomenal. Again, matching earrings, and you can't beat the pricing on this stuff from Amazon. Sometimes, now, yard sales, if you can get in there, you can find some of the costume jewelry. You can luck out there and pick up some nice pieces. But now, the one stuff that I was after, and it's from a company called Everfaith. Now, I'm not sponsored by these or any of this other stuff you see, but Everfaith, they have a great line of jewelry that's cheap. Now, I noticed their pricing has gone up considerably since I started buying it. But this is one of the necklaces. Here's the earrings that come with it, which is pretty cool. This stuff does weigh a ton. It is quite heavy for cosmetic. I wonder if it's lead, but I don't know. I don't think so, but that is really cool. Great necklace. Looks great in some of the images that I've done. And again, you can use this stuff for headwear, or you can do it around an arm. You can use your imagination to how you can use this stuff. If you want, you can simply strip this apart and add these pieces to whatever other props that you're doing, if you're a big DIYer like I am. But this necklace I just love, so I am not going to butcher it. If I was going to, I think I would probably just order another one to butcher. But yeah, this company, Everfaith, on Amazon, just love. Here's another one of theirs that I had picked up. They both come with matching earrings. This one's kind of got the pearl look. And look at that. Isn't that fantastic? Again, headpiece or necklace. That's two uses right off the bat. Cuts the cost in half. So if I spent $10 on this, $5 per shoot if I use it this way or as a necklace. And the more I use it, in my opinion, the cheaper it actually is, because I've been able to do more images by using this and reusing the props. That's why I've kept so many of these. Now, with the Everfaith, they sent me some extra little crystals in case I lose any, and it comes with new clasps. That's pretty cool. And I think these were $20. I think that's what I paid for each of these. They were a little more pricier than the other, but really well made. And they look, as you saw, fantastic. And they worked great in the images. So really, really happy with that. Now, another thing from yard sales and thrift shops is lanterns. You can get various styles. I think this is the most common. I've seen so many photographers using this exact same style one, and you can get them in different colors. Mine was just kind of an unpainted, natural look to it. Again, I think Value Village, or it was a yard sale, and they're not expensive. There's so many of these all over the place, and you can get different styles, which is very cool. I've got a bunch of different ones of these that I use in different shoots, and you know, you can see in the image that the lanterns work great, and you can get some great effects with it. So these are great for doing still life work as well, and with your models and that, adding in these props, and they're not that expensive. They're really not. They're all made of metal, and it's just a matter of being able to store this stuff so you can kind of recycle it out, which is fantastic. Now, other stuff that you can get, and this again is cheap. Ta-da! A fan. I think these are 25 cents, 50 cents. This is a nice little lace one, right? You can add dramatically to an image by simply adding a fan. They are very cool, and you can see the, you know, how it pumps up the quality of the photo in that, which is great. Now, another favorite one of mine, and the model, she absolutely loved this thing, is this one. Nice feather fan, and that's probably what's been tickling my nose, is this fur flying in the air from a retake I had to do as I bumbled all over the words. But yeah, this one is really cool. Yeah, most of the models that see this one, they kind of all drool over it. Really soft, nice feathers. Again, it was a couple of bucks. It's all plastic, but yeah, you can see from the quality of the image that adding that little prop in really pumped it up for a couple of bucks. So an assortment of fans, different sizes, different styles, really, really handy to have. Now another thing that's really cool, umbrellas. Again, I have a bunch of these. I've got one, went and looked for it, but I couldn't find it. It's a short one. It's only about from there to there. I don't know what it was for. It's a nice little lace one. I actually did use it with a model, kind of a funny thing. I think it was mainly made for a doll, but all different types of umbrellas. Harder to find these type in the thrift shops. Let me just open this up a bit for you. I know I'm blocking myself out, but you can see the lace work on that is fantastic. It is absolutely gorgeous. It's harder to find these cloth type ones in the thrift stores. You tend to find more of the kid ones, picnic ones, rain ones, just your standard type umbrellas. Finding these is a little harder. This one is from Amazon, and I think it was 15 or 20 bucks. So not that expensive, and I have used it a few times, and I've got a bunch of different styles of umbrellas that I've used for multiple things. And I do have some like blue nylon and red nylon, because you never know when you're going to want to get creative with a shoot, and having the umbrella would be really handy to have with it. Well, that's just a very small sample, and I mean a small sample of props that I have, but to me these are some key pieces to have. Now, fabric is another one. I showed you the scarf. Well, I have a video that I've posted already, and I'll put it in the link down below, on what you can do with a piece of fabric. Now this is just a scarf, so it's hard to be as creative, but that one was about 20 feet of material, and I made 8 items with it. So that might be worth checking out if you're into DIY, or you got a big piece of fabric you don't know what to do with. So, well, that's it for this one. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Hit that bell notification so you're aware when I post new videos. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. So, until the next time.